In addition to celebrating LGBTQ+ Pride and Juneteenth this month, we observe both International Domestic Workers Day and International Sex Workers Day, two crucial dates that highlight the often overlooked contributions of marginalized workers. These observances highlight the urgent need for labor justice, especially for those who face systemic inequities and are frequently excluded from federal protections. Domestic workers, many of whom are women of color, are critical to the smooth functioning of our households, but often work without the security and benefits they deserve. Despite their vital roles, they remain excluded from federal workplace laws, including the Fair Labor Standards Act. This exclusion leaves millions without minimum wage or overtime protections, underscoring a significant gap in our labor system. Organizations like the National Domestic Workers Alliance and our very own Equity Work Council members, the Chinese Progressive Association and the California Domestic Workers Coalition, are on the front lines advocating for the rights and protections of these workers. They strive to secure fair wages and safe working conditions, ensuring these essential workers receive the recognition and support they deserve. Similarly, sex workers face significant challenges, including legal stigma, unsafe working conditions, and the lack of rights and recognition within the workforce. International Sex Workers Day reminds us of the ongoing struggle for dignity and equality. Red Canary's song, a grassroots collective of Asian and migrant sex workers, exemplifies the fight for sex worker rights. Lavender Phoenix builds transgender, non-binary, and queer API power in San Francisco. Both of their efforts are crucial in advocating for policy changes and providing necessary support for these marginalized workers. Additionally, resources from organizations such as the Bay Area Workers Support, the ACLU of Southern California's Know Your Rights for Sex Workers, the Transgender Law Center, and the Sex Workers Project play a pivotal role in this moment, offering guidance and protection for sex workers. It must be acknowledged that we are amidst a historic uprising of worker power in the United States. Across the nation, workers who have long been marginalized are organizing, joining unions, and striking for fair wages and better working conditions. This movement is particularly led by Black workers who have historically been sidelined in labor rights, but are now driving significant victories and systemic changes. Philanthropy plays a critical role in this context. By supporting labor justice, we advocate for fair treatment and better conditions while simultaneously addressing racial justice. Black workers who have been at the forefront of this labor movement are key to achieving economic equity. Their leadership and resilience paved the way for a more just and inclusive economy. As stated plainly by the nonprofit Quarterly, philanthropy must support labor justice. Why support matters? Labor justice is racial justice. By centering the needs and experiences of Black workers and other marginalized communities, we create better workplaces and economies for all. Philanthropy support can amplify these efforts, funding initiatives that ensure good jobs, fair pay, and safe conditions. Historically, philanthropy has not fully engaged in the labor movement. However, supporting worker-led organizations, particularly those led by Black, Indigenous, and people of color, can drive transformative change. Examples include successful union drives, community benefit agreements, and partnerships advocating for fair wages and conditions. Our call to action. As philanthropists, we have a unique opportunity to be on the right side of history. We can help dismantle systemic inequities and build a more equitable economy by funding worker organizing and supporting labor justice initiatives. This June, let's commit to supporting the workers leading the fight for justice and equality. To join us and to get involved, please visit reworkthebay.org, and together we can ensure that all workers, regardless of occupation, can enjoy the dignity, security, and agency they deserve. In solidarity, Brianna, Rob, and Janelle.